Hiring Out Show.
Hang out with Eric Blair show, Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park. Now let me just tell you first of all, I was sitting at work one day and I heard your song on the radio, and I feel I can relate to the pain and the anguish in your voice, okay? Because I'm
sorry, man.
I know, but dude, it's so intense. It's just like anger, like unmitigated, just anger and force. Where is that coming from?
I used to get picked on a lot in school. No, I'm just kidding. A lot of different things. You know, Mike and I have to write a lot of the songs together, so especially lyrically. So it comes from a lot of different places. It could come from, relationships. It could come from, just everyday kind of stresses in life. Whatever. It's kind of been like a work in progress throughout our lives. Kind of just being able to grow and learn and then reflect on those things that have happened to us and then put them into a lyrical way that people can relate to us, you know what I mean?
I've always wondered, okay, the lyrics, I tried so hard and I got so far, but in the end it really doesn't matter. Right. Okay, are you kind of talking about the futility of life?
I guess it depends on your perspective, because music really has kind of multiple meanings for different people. Some people look at that phrase as something very positive, as like, all the things I tried to do in my life don't make me who I am. I make me who I am. Those kind of people, very positive people, can look at it that way. Other people can look at it as everything I've done hasn't amounted to anything. So it really depends on your perspective of life and where you're at, in your own particular situation.
Now, what's going on with you guys right now? You've had some huge successful records. What is your next move?
Right now, we're just focusing on music for relief. We've been trying to raise as much money as we can and allocate it to the proper places by being really involved with the charities and getting. I went to Thailand not too long ago and kind of went down to a couple sites where the tsunami hit, find out how the progress is coming along. So we're really just focusing on that right now, and over the next year we'll be making an album and probably ready to tour. So.
Now, are you guys going to produce this album yourself, or you're going to pull in another producer?
We'll probably use a producer. I'm not sure. We haven't made those decisions yet. Right now we're just enjoying some time off, but really, when the tsunami hit, it kind of just, our vacation stopped and we started Music for Relief, and it's been 110% ever since.
When you went to Thailand, tell me what did you see there? What are the people like? How do they react?
Well, the people of Thailand are very resilient people. They're very resourceful people. They kind of viewed it as, okay, we got hit, let's bury our dead, let's rebuild our businesses, let's get the economy going and get tourists back and just kind of get things back to where they need to be. But there are some other areas like Banda Aceh where there isn't those kind of positive kind of thoughts going on in the community. People are very superstitious. Everything about their lives has been totally destroyed. Fishermen now have to go live so far away from the beaches that it costs them their wages, and every day that the money they make, it costs them to get back and forth to work, and they just it's kind of a futile situation, and they really could use as much help as they can, and that's where we're hoping to step in and kind of offer whatever we can.
Now, what was your first reaction when you saw the footage of the tsunami?
We have to do something. Like, what can we do? And within 24 hours, we had the foundation started, and we donated $100,000 of our money and to get it started, and then we started just trying to get other bands and other musicians involved and trying to contribute in any way they can, whether it was just talking about it and raising awareness or actually making a donation themselves, or like Jason did, write a great song and get a bunch of artists together and write and create something really beautiful and positive that also is going to help in whatever way it can, So everybody in the music business has started to catch on, and we've been really, really impressed and very happy with the response.
Now, how are you making sure that your work is not in vain? Because a lot of times the money doesn't get to the people.
Well, that's why we take a very hands-on approach to how we are dealing with the money. The first amount of money that we raised, we went through the Red Cross, but in the end of January, the relief effort from the Red Cross stopped. So we knew that the money had to be reallocated to groups like UNICEF, to groups like Habitat for Humanity, These are groups that actually get in and rebuild communities. They're working within the communities. And also by going down there and finding out the names of the schools, the names of the areas that are, and certain small groups that aren't connected to any major charity, where they're literally taking the money and just putting it right back into the school or into the little city that's been hit. And by doing that and going out there and seeing how these charities work, and by sitting down with the administrative ends of these charities, we've figured out how to allocate our money in the most efficient way. And that's another thing about Music for Relief, is you really know that our money that you're giving to our charity really is going to rebuilding these communities, to the people, to help start boosting the economy and things like that. So,
do you find that a lot of your friends kind of have the same vision as you, that they want to reach out and help people? Are there some people that just don't want to? They're like, I'm too busy for that.
I think almost everybody I've ever met has a charitable end to their personality. I just think that people don't really know how to go about doing it, and I don't think there's a lot of confidence in a lot of charities either, with respect to administrative costs and salaries costs, and opposed to what actually needs to be done. And so I think that by taking initiative and finding out how it works, and putting that time and effort in, we've kind of developed a situation and a foundation where we can earn the trust of people giving us the money, but also not only worry about money, but worrying about just raising awareness about how important charity is. And if you are interested in something or concerned about something, you should do a little bit of research on your own, or you can find out which charities have done all that research for you. And it's really simple. You can go to LincolnPark.com, or you can go to musicforrelief.com or .org, and you can find out all the information that you want about how our charity works and everything, and where the money goes. So,
now, how does something like the tsunami and going to Thailand make you examine your life or judge your life? Does it give you a different outlook on life?
Well, it just makes when you see something horrible like that happen, that's out of man's control. That's not a war. That's not some crazy chemical accident. It really makes you feel very fortunate that it didn't happen to your neighborhood or happen to where you live. And it also, makes you realize how important life is, and how fragile and how easily it can be totally disrupted or destroyed. And a person like myself or anybody in this party, we're all very blessed people. We've got a lot of people who support us in what we do, and it's our responsibility to give back in whatever way we can. A lot of people in the area that the tsunami had hit were fans of my band. They'd supported us. They bought records. They came to our shows. They played us on the radio stations. We have an obligation to try to help them, because they've been so generous to us. And I think that everybody in entertainment or in any field where they're actually in this kind of situation that we're in Lincoln Park, they should give back. It's our obligation to the world and it's really impressive to see that a lot of people do feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's really a beautiful thing.
Chester, thank you so much.
Thank you, man.
Appreciate you doing this. All right, this is Eric Blair with the Blairing Out Show with Chester Bennington of Lincoln Park, signing off. Bye-bye.
The Blairing Out Show.